Hello, my name is Katie McGuire and I am a Special Education Instructional Supervisor at PA Cyber. I am here today at PA Cyber to conduct some questions with an on-site virtual teacher, Kim Collins. Today we will discuss how today's students are digital natives. They are accustomed to using cell phones, computers, and the internet, making them very different than previous generations. They will need to learn different skills in order to be prepared for tomorrow's world. We will examine what we can do as teachers to prepare our students to acquire the skills they will need for future employment in a global world and become more adept at civil discourse and dealing with disputes rather than being polarized. In a forecast segment, Sir Ken Robinson talks about his Robinson Report. He believes we need to take strategic initiatives to become creative and celebrate different ways of thinking. Sir Ken makes a compelling case for the importance of creativity and innovative thinking. He stresses the importance of an educational system that takes creativity and the arts seriously and urges organizations and companies to nurture their employees' personal talents. With these practices, teachers can make and utilize the correct skills to pass on to their students in order to make them competitors in the world. Tony Wagner brings up many great points in his video labeled 7 Skills Students Need for Their Future. He believes there is a crisis in global education. We are stuck between a rock and a hard place. He states that we used to earn our livings with our hands, but now more than ever, we are earning our livings with a skilled brain. Promoting continuous learning and active and informed citizenship is now done in a different manner in the classroom. He asked the question, how do we motivate our students? We need to rethink education and align our teaching and learning with 21st century skills. Some important skills students need to compete in tomorrow's world are critical thinking and problem solving. More now than ever, employees are engaging all workers in a process of continuous improvement. Students need to learn to collaborate across all networks. Teamwork no longer happens with just your building, but with different companies all over the world. Students need to learn to respect the differences of others and their culture in order to communicate and collaborate effectively. Tony also went on to talk about being adaptable, having curiosity, having an imagination, analyzing information, and taking initiatives. We will now interview Kim Collins, virtual teacher at PA Cyber. Do you think that students using digital devices have changed their communication and learning skills?
Hello, my name is Kimberly Collins, and I am currently a teacher at the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School. My certifications are middle level math, middle level science, and special education. I think that students today learn and communicate differently than we did growing up. With easy access to digital devices and instant answers with the use of the internet, students do not have to know how to reference different resources or take the time to look in different places to come up with an answer. They can get an answer instantly and don't really have to communicate in a way that we did in the past. Communication has become more informal. Students are more comfortable with sending texts and emails rather than communicating face to face or even through phone
What
calls.
skills do you think students need now as opposed to what you have taught in the past?
I think students now more than ever need to be able to adapt to change. Technology is constantly changing. Every day there's a new device, there's a new upgrade, and students need to be willing and ready to learn how to use these new devices on a daily basis. I feel in the past, teachers really spent time teaching students how to use a computer, how to type properly, how to go into a library and use reference books like encyclopedias and dictionaries. And now students don't need these skills. They have the internet, which allows them to find this information quickly. They know how to type for the most part coming into school, how to search the internet and how to use the internet. So I think that education has changed because now we don't need to focus on these skills, but we need to be able to teach students that they can change and that technology is always changing and they have to be willing to participate and to accomplish all of these new goals with new tech devices.
How will you teach the skills that students will need to be a front runner in future employment?
The best way we as teachers can prepare our students to be front runners in today's world and today's job market is to prepare them for the skills that they need now in today's world, but also to prepare them for the skills that we had in the past. These students need to be able to communicate professionally. They need to be able to communicate informally using the email, text. But as teachers, we need to prepare them for being able to participate in both worlds, making sure that they have the skills that we needed in the past as well as the skills that they need today. We have to teach them how to use different digital devices, teach them how to write formal letters and proposals. So they need more skills than we did in the past. They need to be able to fit into both worlds.
How will you teach the skills that your students need to be able to communicate effectively in the global world?
I think that it's still important for teachers to teach proper grammar and teach students how to write formal proposals and letters. These students need to be able to make a smooth transition from the world that they're used to into that global professional world. So teaching them professionalism and what it means to be a team player and to fit in and to be able to communicate in ways that they may not be useful is the best thing that we can teach our students. We need to stress the importance of being able to communicate professionally so that when they are in the real world, people take them seriously.
After reviewing the learning sessions and speaking with Kim Collins, I have come up with some teaching goals that I will use in my classroom. My first goal is to customize the teaching strategies that I will use to my classroom culture. Teachers and students are individuals. We both need to make personal development. We want to feel that what we do matters. To achieve this goal, students need to know how to communicate with others and respect those that are not the same or have different opinions. Teamwork is key in tomorrow's world, communicating with others across the world, that is. An idea I would use in my classroom is to have students partake in a mock Skype conference with students all around the world to be able to experience other cultures while doing business. My next goal is to promote curiosity and imagination from my students. When preparing them for the real world, they can't be producing projects that look like everyone else's. They need to have an imagination and think beyond the obvious. By using hands-on learning projects, I believe this will promote creativity and imagination. I want my students to be curious. They need to seek out new devices to use in the workplace, like an iPad, for example. To ensure my students have this skill, I will have them utilize different tools to present their assignments, other than just doing the normal written papers. Finally, my last goal is to make my students obtain the skills to be adaptable and encompass agility. More than ever, workplaces are being restructured. Employees now have to learn and complete more than just one job, or their job title is constantly changing. Students need to be able to learn new skills and adapt to changes in the workplace. To promote this in my classroom, I believe changing up the way that I teach from time to time will help them to recognize that things will not always be the same. Test formats can be changed from time to time, just like your job can in the workplace. I can be teaching my students skills while also assessing them. How wonderful. Those who do not want to change will not survive. As educators, we do not want to become a dinosaur district, where we are limiting our survival by sticking to teaching the old and not the new. We should embrace new teaching strategies and have our students making connections with their community and other cultures. We need to embrace creative teaching and learning, not reject it.